Hey everyone, welcome back to the Bimmer Barn. Today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the headlight control modules on your E90 or E92 3 Series. Today we're going to be working on Tyler's 335 diesel, and this car is suffering from a couple of adaptive headlight faults in the FRM. So we're going to go ahead and try to get rid of these by replacing the modules, and if not, then we'll probably just end up coating those things out anyways. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the video. So first things first, we have Tyler's E90 here, and it's a beautiful car. It's got the LCI headlights, which have the adaptive headlight feature, which makes the headlight point up and down. You know, you might see it when you start the car for the first time, but it uses the ride level sensors on the front and rear axles of the car to tell the headlights to point up or down, depending on, you know, the weight distribution. If you got more people in the back of the car, it would naturally point the lights up, but these would compensate for that and point perfectly level. Now here in the car, when you put the key in and press the start button, you'll probably get an adaptive headlight fault. Here we have a tire pressure light, and then you saw right there the adaptive headlight fault. So we'll go ahead and show you check control, and there it is. This is the light that we're gonna be trying to fix today. So now let me go ahead and scan the car to show you exactly what faults we're getting. That way you can compare and see if you're getting the similar ones on your car. So on Tyler's car here, the codes that we're getting specifically are for the FRM communication with step motor controller on the left, and the FRM stepping motor controller left signaling fault. Now we also have a high beam turn off light right faulty. Kind of comes on for a couple seconds when you turn the car on, but it's a weird fault, and I tried clearing that out, but it does come immediately back. So that might be related to the headlight module, or it might be a sign of a failing FRM. But regardless, we do have two modules to install today, so let me go ahead and show you what we're gonna do. So here are the modules that Tyler bought, and he actually got these off of Amazon. So I'll put a link to them in the description below in case you guys wanna try them out, and hopefully they do end up fixing our problems for us. So they're not OEM, obviously these are not made by BMW, but for a very reasonable price, we can go ahead and hopefully get our adaptive headlight fault fixed. Wow, it even looks like these things come with gloves to install them safely, and they come wrapped in that protective electromagnetic, whatever clingy wrap film this stuff is. So yeah, nice looking headlight module there. Let's go ahead and show you the car and how we're gonna get access to these things. So the modules are located underneath the headlight, like literally underneath this headlight, attached to it. And to remove the headlight to get access to it, you actually have to pull off the entire front bumper. It's not gonna be that difficult though, guys. All you have to do is remove the screws that are underneath the front lip here. And then you've got, I believe, 2 screws for the fender liner, so you can get access to the 2 screws for the bumper that hold it to this fender. And then you'll have the screws along the top here. And if you have PDC or any sensors to worry about, you probably want to make sure you get those disconnected. But otherwise, it's just those 2 that hold to the fender, the 4 that hold it to the bumper up here, and then the rest that hold up the fender liners around the bottom. So let's go ahead and pull this bumper off, and then I'll show you the screws to get the headlights out. Oh yeah, also if you have headlight washers, these little squares right here, those make it super annoying to pull off the bumper. I think that we've got it off now. Oh, you know what? The fog lights. Let me go ahead and disconnect that. All right, so now with the full front bumper removed, we've got much better access to the headlight. You're gonna have to remove the bolts up here. There's 2 Torx, and then there's 2 in here as well, 1 and 2, and that's because this whole bracket here is gonna come with the headlight. And then on the back here, there is 1 more Torx bolt in the back for the headlight. So you're gonna remove all of those, and then there's also gonna be the harness, and you're gonna have to squeeze the clamp on that in order to get the connector off of the headlight, and then we should have it free, and we'll be able to change out the module. Now here we have Tyler's headlight in front of us, and we need to go ahead and flip this thing around so I can show you guys the modules and the wiring and all that. So here's what it looks like from the back. We have it face down here, and you'll see that this is the headlight control module. You've got the access port for the bulbs here as well as here, and you'll see that there's some additional harness coming out of the headlight. This is aftermarket, and that's actually going to be the illuminated RGB angel eyes that he has. They're literally tapped in to the daytime running light bulb. That way they're almost always running and they look really sharp on the car. But the problem is that you can no longer put this cap on the headlight, and that leaves it open to atmosphere. And I'm pretty sure the problem that we're having today is that moisture and water ran down the headlight to the lowest position, which is going to be that module right here. So let's go ahead and remove the module by removing these T20 bolts here, and we'll find out what really happened to it. Well, just as I expected, looks like we got some moisture that ran down the headlight, and you can see it started oxidizing the pins here and the circuit board, and it's even on the circuit board itself. So dang, I guess that's really what the problem is. Let's go ahead now and start installing the new module. Now this new headlight module looks very different than the one that came off the car. It's only got 3 pins actually to install it on the headlight, so it looks like it would probably fit a different headlight. But what I noticed is that it actually does fit on our headlight, and that's because the connectors are exactly the same. So what I'm thinking is we can probably take the board and the headlight module out of here and just place it onto our cap right here and then install it. So let's go ahead and disassemble this thing carefully. I think there's just a few clips on the back here that we can pry off with, you know, maybe like our fingernails or a flathead, and then we'll try to fit it into the old cap. And just as I expected, the boards are nearly identical. They look exactly the same. So I think that makes it safe for us to go ahead and at least try installing it. So let's go ahead now and swap this board, which comes out really easily, onto this cap here. And I think there's just one clip at the top for us to release it and change it out. And then we'll reassemble the headlight, do the same thing on the other one, and then we'll see if we have any new codes, guys. Actually, before we put the bumper on, let's go ahead and turn the car on and see if those codes went away and if the headlights work now. All right, so far, no fault. Let's turn the headlights on though. No headlight fault. Oh my gosh. That's probably the fault I was talking about for the right side. I'm not sure if that's going to be a bulb related fault or headlight module or FRM related fault, but so far, look at it. We've got no more fault for the headlight adjustment, and I saw it move, so that's really cool. Let's go ahead now. Like I said, I'm going to do the other module, and then we'll put the bumper on, and then we'll do one final test to see if we can get that right light fault to go away.
Eventually.
Now, quick update. We ended up installing the headlight control module on the right side, one of the new ones from Amazon. Even though we didn't have a step motor fault on the right side, I just figured that we would get 2 new modules in there. And what would you know, we got an adaptive headlight fault for that side. So the adaptive headlight feature stopped working on that headlight, which would tell me that one of the modules we got from Amazon was faulty from the factory. So I'd probably make the recommendation, if you guys have like one headlight that is giving you fault, you should probably buy 2 modules. You might have one that is bad, or both of them might be good, but just something to keep in mind. If you just end up buying one and you get it and it's bad, it might be worth returning it and buying another to try it on your headlight. Now though, I do want to show you the problem with the bulb, because as you'll see, when we put the key in, we should still get a fault. So we'll put the headlights on, make that fault go away, and there you go, we have a lamp fault. So the lamp fault says right cornering light malfunction, and that's a really cool feature that these cars have. And you can test this feature while the car is parked. If you have the car on with the headlights on, just turn the turn signals all the way to one side, and you'll see that you get a little bit of an orange bulb that lights up the corner, and then it fades away. And what that looks like from the front is this like high beam bulb right here. You just saw it fade away there, but that is what illuminates and goes into the corner, and it's that cornering light. And when I tested this function out on this headlight, I didn't get any illumination there. So what it tells me is that the bulb is bad. It's a cheap, small little bulb in there, and you can access it pretty easily using the 3 screws from this access plate right there. So all we're gonna do now is put the bumper back on the car, and then I think that's gonna go ahead and conclude this video. So that's going to conclude our video for today, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and hopefully you learned something too. This is a great way of fixing that adaptive headlight fault on your dashboard without getting it coded out and without paying a ton for dealer parts. So I'll go ahead and put a link to that Amazon headlight control module in the description below. That way you guys can check it out. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like or a comment down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new and you haven't yet. As always, I hope everyone has an amazing day, and we will see you in the next video.